listen, you'll have to take me out of commission, cause dissing me ain't gonna get it. My self-esteem is prolific, so when I say I ain't tripping, you know.
Welcome to 3 Count Commentaries. This is your host, MagMongoSlade. Today we're going to be talking about AEW Dynamite from December the 7th, 2022, which was quite possibly one of my favorite episodes of Dynamite. Even though I struggled through that second hour, I still liked most of the show. So we're going to give Tony Khan some big credit on this, but we're also going to criticize Tony Khan because we gotta. That ROH card is absolute garbage. All right, it's hot garbage. But before we get into the show and we get into the Ring of Honor Final Battle card, let's talk about the Ring of Honor Final Battle Scrum, which let us know some interesting information. So before we get to the scrum, before we get to that, it was some interesting conversations being had about Regal leaving AEW. So it starts with everybody knows by now, EC3 came out and said that Regal regretted going to AEW because basically there's a lot of immaturity in the management. There was some pushback from this on the AEW side. Of course it was. EC3, how the hell would he know? But then again, he might know people. He's been around. So he's just gossip girling. In any event, Justin LaBar, who is a wrestling journalist, gossip girl, went on Twitter and said this. So what I'm picking up is Regal is done with AEW, back to WWE soon, close with Triple H, but also his wisdom and coaching not appreciated or received the way you would think by some in the AEW locker room who feel they have six-figure multi-year deals and Regal's advice is behind the times or beneath them. So this was before Tony Khan. This tweet was made approximately a day or two. So maybe Monday or maybe Tuesday, one of the two, before the scrum, the media thing for Final Battle. So the reason why I mentioned this is because Brian Pillman Jr. actually responded. He said, "This is not entirely true. There are several of us, myself included, who spent multiple hours before TV working with Regal and learning from him. Should there have been more? Maybe. But he and Danielson always had a solid audience around the ring before TV." And he says, "I know you said some. I just didn't want the narrative to be that he was just standing there preaching to the air. Some days there would be 10 guys out there soaking it in. Some days it would just be me and Wheeler and Lee. I didn't mind when his attention wasn't spread as thin." So, you're talking about this guy who has all the experience in the world. And Brian Pillman Jr. is like, well, about 10 of us that stood around and listened to him. About 10 of you. There's 200 fucking wrestlers on the roster. And about 10 can get... Come on. I know what he was trying to do, but he made it worse because he added some credence to this crap. He didn't take it down, so he didn't tweet, delete. So he's just saying how he felt, and he was kind of standing up for the company like, hey, we weren't all just ignoring the guy. But 10 people, like William Regal used to control like all of NXT. Like he would have 40, 50, 100 people sitting in chairs listening to him lecture about wrestling. And he goes to AEW and he gets 10 fucking people. 10 people? You would think AEW is full of Chris Jerichos. It's just not possible. When you look at some of the talent they have on this roster, only 10 people were listening. I floored by that concept. I'm floored by it. But, it's a running gag with AEW. Jim Ross has said it. Billy Gunn has said it. Numerous people have said that one of the AEW problems is that the young guys do not listen. They don't want to be coached. They feel that they got things under the control because TK, good old TK, the boss, gave them a big money contract. Therefore, they don't need to train as hard. Therefore, they don't need coaching. So, there that go. Okay, so Wednesday afternoon, this will be the 7th of December. Tony Khan addresses William Regal. Now he wraps this in some story about his mom having a couple of strokes, and best wishes to Mama Khan. We're gonna put her to the side because I don't even know why he mentioned that, but I guess it was to get sympathy. So we're gonna put Mama Khan to the side. Mama Khan was sick. Tony was approached by William Regal, who said he did not want to renew his contract. Ergo, it is confirmed that William Regal will be leaving AEW. Tony Khan says on October the 16th, he got a message from Regal while he was at the Mayo Clinic with his mom and said they had a conversation, and he made it clear that he wants to go and coach his son. And he said that basically he wanted to go coach his son because his son was in NXT. It says Khan said that he had to make changes from that point on. Full Gear has set a different direction. He had a 90-minute talk with Regal after a live Rampage in Jacksonville, and he said he would make major changes in order to accommodate Regal's request. And he says, given everything, Khan said it made a lot of sense to try to figure out how to accommodate Regal's request to not exercise the option next year. Then Wrestling Observer newsletter continues. Khan wishes Regal the best, and that they had even had conversations this week. He said both enjoyed their time together, but he's not gone yet, which of course we know because they're still using William Regal in the storylines on AEW TV currently. So from there, Khan said Khan believes the terms of Regal's release will be him being able to go back to WWE and coach, but not be seen on screen next year. He said he was surprised to see the supercut of Regal on Triple H's Twitter and didn't think it was in the spirit of how accommodating they were. They note that the supercut was of William Regal singing War Games over and over again before a Survivor Series. So this would have been a couple of weeks ago. Okay. So the deal is that William Regal will be let out of his contract. He can go back to coaching in WWE, but he cannot be an on-screen personality for the entire 2023 year. The entire year. Now, I am one of those people that typically when a contract is signed, you have to honor that contract. I don't understand why they have options in AEW. I don't understand that. I don't get it. I don't know. It makes sense. I know they have them in football, they have them in basketball. I don't know why they have them in wrestling. It's just, you could be picked up, quote unquote, and now you have to continue working somewhere you might not want to work. Who knows? But to be able to say that there should be a non-compete sort of window. All right, we've gotten kind of used to that in wrestling. That there's a non-compete window, 90 days, 120 days, 60 days, whatever the case may be. It seems like he's going to waive the non-compete part or amend it to he can go work for WWE, but he cannot be an on-screen persona for the entire year. I guess it's fair, but a whole year of not being able to be on television, that's a bit rough. I'm sorry. A year, maybe you'd have said, wait for us to finish off this storyline. We're gonna finish this story. It's gonna take us about 3 or 4 months to pay off everything, to wrap everything up. And that's it. 90 days. That seems fair to me. A year? What do you need William Regal's image for a year for? That's what I want to know. He's not going to be there. He's going to be in WWE. What do you need his image for a year for? Why do you need to tie up his image? Because that's what this is about, right? He can't use his face. So we're like, what do we need his image for a year? Maybe that answer will come at some point in the future. Maybe it's just one of those weird conditions of getting out of his contract. But I don't necessarily like the idea of he can't be on TV for a year. It's like, yeah, he can work house shows for you, I guess, but he can't be on TV. Like, we know that, William Regal can't work. So he's definitely going to be a coach and probably go back to his old job, recruiting talent, et cetera, which is fine. But to, limit him for a year seems a bit excessive to me. But then again, hey, He signed the contract. He made the deal with these guys. It is what it is. Okay, so let's get into Dynamite, because Dynamite was actually fun this week, at least most of it. The Dynamite Diamond Battle Royale was won by Ricky Starks. Right decision. Absolutely right decision. They told some stories into the match, none of which I cared about at all. But for those of you who might care, Chris Sabian. Jesus. Kip Sabian eliminated Orange Cassidy to set up their little angle for later, where Orange Cassidy approached Kip Sabian and said, if you wanted a match for the All-Atlantic title, just say so. And Kip Sabian, who got eliminated shortly after he eliminated Orange Cassidy, said that he wasn't at his peak. I think he called him Butternut Squash or some shit. Like, what was the pet name that he used for Orange Cassidy? It was something stupid. In any event, Orange Cassidy said he gets to pick Orange Cassidy's opponent for Rampage. And I was like, well, that's infinitely better than actually wrestling Chris Sabian yourself. Or Kip Sabian. Fuck. It doesn't matter. Who cares? Dalton Castle was saved by the boys. They did a really cool, funny spot where Brian Cage kept punching Dalton Castle off the ring apron and the boys kept catching him. It was reminiscent a little bit of, one of the New Day spots in the Royal Rumble. And it happened like 4 times before Brian Cage finally tried to do something else. Anyway, Dalton Castle ended up being eliminated by Brian Cage later. This is going to set up their 6-man tag for the Final Battle show. It's going to be Brian Cage and the Gates of Agony versus Dalton Castle and the boys. Nobody's going to care about that at all. Just skip it, right? W. Morrissey eliminated Jungle Boy, even though W. Morrissey wasn't supposed to be in the match. He did this really ugly choke slam on the ring apron. I know he probably did that on purpose, but my God, it looked like he almost separated his shoulder. So they continuing that Jungle Boy is now going to be feuding with William Morrissey, or Morrissey and the Firm. It's probably a lateral move, because big, dumb, useless Luchasaurus, now big, dumb, useless W. Morrissey. Matt Hardy and Ethan Page were the last two with Ricky Starks. Matt Hardy V1. Is it even fair to say V1 when it comes to Matt Hardy, considering this has got to be V5 at this point? This is Matt Hardy version 5.0, and he's out here like a flip phone. He barely works. Boy out here bad. He out here like a razor phone. You know what I'm saying? That man in age like a Nextel. You get me? Anyway, Matt Hardy's out here old as hell. Taking orders from Ethan Page. I was like, I don't care about this. Either way, Ricky Starks won the match. They did the Big Show Rock finish from Royal Rumble 2000. And I noticed it as soon as I saw it. I looked like, I get it. Makes a lot of sense when MJF comes out there immediately afterwards, and we have one of the best promo segments that AEW probably has ever produced. It was a star-making performance for Ricky Starks, and it shows what AEW can do better than WWE in terms of just letting their young guys do their thing. MJF came out there and said Bryan Danielson is not there because Bryan Danielson is scared of him. He then said that he's going to remain being the Dynamite Diamond Ring champion. Oh, I forgot to mention that the winner of this battle royal had to fight MJF for the Dynamite Diamond Ring. I didn't know that. That didn't make sense to me. It's stupid. It's dumb as fuck. But I thought that he was going to have to wrestle MJF twice. I was like, he's going to have to wrestle MJF for the ring and for the world title. And so I was like, okay, is he going to beat him for the ring and then lose the world title? And then later on, they fixed it by saying it's going to be a winner take all match. So the ring is going to be on the line and the championship. But anyway, MJF says he's going to maintain being the Dynamite Diamond Ring champion. Then he says that everybody thinks that Ricky Starks is underutilized, but the truth is that Ricky Starks is the absolute drizzling shits, or a Rudy Poo candy ass. Then referred to him as a dollar store Dwayne and said that he stole everything from that guy. Therefore, he's going to call him the Pebble. And he's going to put that Pebble in his pocket, skip him across the lake back to NWA and YouTube where he belongs. It was gutter. It was a pretty brutal takedown by MJF. I actually liked it. It was very good, and I was thinking to myself, man, They cannot let Ricky Starks just stand there and take that. Like, he can't just stand there and take that. And praise be wrestling god JBL that Ricky Starks did not, because that boy came cooking. Ricky Starks brought the heat. He called he called him off rip, called him Maxi Pad, which was funny. And then called him a fifth-rate Roddy Piper, and said that all the MJF stuff is low-hanging fruit. And then he dissed him from his head to his haircut, saying that everything about him is cheap. And which is great. So he smells like piss. What he said? No, he said ass and paint thinner. Then he talked about MJF avoiding pressure. That, MJF doesn't like to take up the responsibility of people actually liking him, while Ricky Starks lives with dignity and respect. That Ricky Starks always delivers. And then next week is going to be a big deal, because MJF doesn't deserve to be the champion, and Ricky Starks does. And he's going to do MJF a favor and take that responsibility off his plate. Then it was just very well put together. And MJF hit him in the nuts. And then they did a little fight scene where Ricky Starks speared MJF, and they ended it there. This was excellent. All of this from top to bottom was absolutely excellent. Just when you thought MJF was just shoveling dirt on Ricky Starks and making him seem like he didn't belong there, Ricky Starks came back. And came back bigger. I mean, he went full URL battle raps. He started from his goddamn shoes, and how his shoes are cheap, how his pants are never ironed, and all this kind of stuff. It was great. He said something about MJF's nose being darker than the rest of his body. And I was just kind of like, okay. I thought he was about to go Kanye with it. But Ricky Starks really, I can't believe Tony Khan had this guy on dark for 2 fucking years. Like, I think I've probably been one of the few people, I'm probably more than that has been saying, hey, Ricky Starks is there. Hey, Ricky Starks is there. It took for CM Punk to blow up the spot, ruin everybody's life, for Ricky Starks to finally get a look. Now, this is going to be a very short run. Absolutely, it's going to be short. He's not going to win the title, and he shouldn't win the title. But to think you had this guy on your roster the whole time, when you were pushing fucking Sammy Guevara, who can't talk. I mean, Sammy Guevara can barely fucking think. And you had Ricky Starks with all of this. They gave him the fucking FTW belt. And he looked like a fucking goof walking around with that thing every week. Not even a real title. It's just so dumb. And it just goes to show, Tony Khan is not... He got lucky with this one. He got lucky that Ricky Starks was willing to stick around all this time. Under normal circumstances, the guy would have been gone by now. Ricky Starks gave AEW a lot of time for him to be found. Now, my question is, we know he's not going to beat MJF. What are we going to do with him afterwards? Because now we see what he can do. Everybody's energized. Everybody's excited for this match, man. We're ready. We know he's not going to win, though. So what do we do? What's our plan B for Ricky Starks? Who's going to be the guy he has to feud with that's going to take him off the title track, at least for a little while? Because he deserves to be a top guy. He is one of the guys right now. If AEW is trying to rebuild their fan interest, Ricky Starks is a great guy to do that. Yes, it's going to take a while because he's not on the same level as a CM Punk or something like that, Bryan Danielson or Adam Cole or whatever. But he can get there. You got to give him space, though. You can't just put him in there with MJF. They have one off match. Ricky Starks loses, probably clean, and then we just move on. You can't do that to this guy. You got to have a plan B. You got 400 fucking belts running around here. He needs to collect one of them. Maybe not the TNT belt. Maybe you got that for Wardlow. But fuck, he probably should beat Orange Cassidy for that All-Atlantic belt or something. He needs to be the champion of something. He needs to have his own space on the show. Ricky Starks has eclipsed everybody that fucking Tony Khan was trying to push. Wheeler Yuta, Daniel Garcia, Sammy Guevara, Jungle Boy. None of these motherfuckers can talk. Darby Allin can jump off whatever he wants. He can't fucking talk. Ricky Starks can talk. He's the same size as all those fucking guys, but he can fucking talk. Which is, ding, 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 what we're fucking looking for. So, we definitely need to focus on what we do with Ricky Starks. He definitely needs to be in the mix. And it's going to be booking malpractice if he's not. So I fully expect Ricky Starks to not be in the mix from this point forward, because that's how TK rolls. Let's move on, because I actually like this too. Samoa Joe did a vignette with Darby Allin. I like this. It was pretty good. The match itself, I thought it was going to be the main event because I forgot what the main event was going to be. So this match actually happened second. Darby Allin versus Samoa Joe. The match was good. I enjoyed it, and I haven't really been fully on board with Samoa Joe matches in a while. But I was on board with this one because Joe got to be himself, which is the big brutalizer, and Darby Allin took hella bumps because he always does. I mean, the Darby Allin attempt to missile body block Joe, and then Joe just walks away, and Darby Allin just collapsed into the floor. I mean, he just looked like a goddamn wino out there. It was crazy. You know, the way Joe was kicking him in the head and in the face and everything. It was a great double story of, you know, David and Goliath, with Joe being big but also kind of being slow, or Darby Allin being daring and durable. He could just absorb tons of punishment, so he has that never say die element to him. It was all very good. The finish, a coffin drop by Darby Allin is countered into the coquina clutch. Good finish. Darby Allin doesn't tap out. All right, fine. After the match, Darby Allin shoves Samoa Joe, basically to tell him, I didn't give up. You barely won. So Joe headbutt him, did a muscle buster on the skateboard, and then choked him out again. Wardlow came down there to make the save. Took a little long for Wardlow to show up, but we got there. Unfortunately, Samoa Joe is going to be wrestling Juice Robinson at the pay-per-view. It's the Ring of Honor pay-per-view, let's be honest, but he's wrestling Juice Robinson, one of the most worthless, useless sacks of human semen ever produced by the wrestling business. Tony Khan is asking you to pay $40 for you to watch Samoa Joe wrestle Juice Robinson. Come on, man. What a joke. Juice Robinson fucking sucks. All right. Jericho does a vignette talking about how he's the GOAT Ring of Honor champion, and that Claudio doesn't really believe in himself and all that good stuff. He's going to beat Claudio and force Claudio to join the Jericho Appreciation Society. All right, sure, whatever. The third match on the show is where things start to go downhill. Jake Hager and Daniel Garcia versus Claudio Castagnoli and Wheeler Yuta in a match that I like to call Charisma Wanted. Nobody in this match was in any way interesting. I walked away for seemingly 15 minutes. These guys were just sweating all over each other. I did not care. I mean, that's just the long and the short of it. I didn't give a fuck. For starters, you got Wheeler Yuta in this thing, who I think is the worst of the bunch. Daniel Garcia at least has some funny facial reactions from time to time. Jake Hager is a sack of human waste. Next to Juice Robinson and Sanjay Dutt, one of the biggest sacks of waste ever produced by the wrestling business. He sucks. Claudio is a guy that everybody likes, but nobody's willing to tell the truth that the guy just doesn't have any charisma. He can't carry a storyline. He can't carry an angle. Certainly can't carry a company. But they gave these guys a lot of time, and I just said, thumbs down. This match sucked. Who cares? They did a promo after this, however, where William Regal had a dead man's trap, where if something happens to me, play this video. So, apparently, they're trying to get us to believe this video is 2 weeks old, where Regal is going to explain why he decided to help MJF, and he proceeded to attempt to. So Regal says that MJF was very upset about these about the emails and all this kind of stuff. So he decided to give MJF what he wanted. And that by making MJF the AEW World Champion, he put a target on MJF's back. And then said that the bigger truth is that the Blackpool Combat Club doesn't need him anymore, but they won't let him go. So he made this decision knowing that they would have no choice but to let him go. I don't know. It was a little unclear right there. But he said that he wanted Danielson and Moxley to teach Wheeler Yuta by example. And he wanted to teach them the final thing that he could have taught them, which is to keep eyes in the back of their head, because he's Blackpool Combat Club forever. Then it was sent to Jon Moxley, who this was his second promo of the evening. His first promo was him talking about Hangman Page, how he liked Hangman Page because Hangman Page was talking with his fist, and he likes that. This is wrestling. It's not the Blackpool Microphone Club. It's the Blackpool Combat Club. And that Saturday, this whole thing with Jericho Appreciation Society will be over, and he's going to be out there for the tag team match. Make sure there was no shenanigans, and there was no shenanigans. It was just pointless being out there. Then he said that he's going to challenge anybody for a Rampage, and that Hangman Page knows where to find him if he's looking for him. That challenge for Rampage ended up being Konosuke Takeshita, or Takeshita, whatever the fuck they're calling him. The Japanese guy, who apparently has now moved to the United States, and everybody's treating him like a little kid. Yeah, I know he's, alone in a foreign country, but there's enough Japanese wrestlers in the United States for him to be okay. All right, I'm sure he's going to find his way around. In any event, who the fuck cares about Moxley versus Takeshita? I mean, who cares really? Takeshita. This promo, however, from Jon Moxley was completely no selling anything that William Regal just said. He just completely ignored it and said that everybody in that ring, which was him, Yuta, and Claudio, live and breathe pro wrestling, and he wants the war with the Jericho Appreciation Society to end at Final Battle. And he says that all of these guys, all of them, this entire weekend is gonna be about them making statements. So he had absolutely nothing to say about William Regal. Nothing. He absolutely added nothing to the storyline. I don't see, again, I'm wondering, why do we need William Regal's image for a year when Jon Moxley is just going to ignore it? He's just going to be like, yeah, I saw it, but fuck it. Fuck that. I'm just going to do my own thing here. Fuck that. And so, okay, well, do your thing, man. You know what you're doing. So House of Black did a vignette to which they said that this company has become corrupted by grave diggers. People who are digging shovels in one hand and doing other things in the other hand. I don't know. But they said they're going to put down the corruption. Malachi Black then asked, what's the crime? The crime is treason. What's the verdict? I was thinking guilty, not guilty. The verdict was war. I'm like, huh? Okay. And what was the sentence? The sentence is extermination. And then they placed an open challenge on anyone for rather Rampage or Dynamite. And I was like, okay, yeah. Just random open challenges all up and through this joint now. This is like the 6th open challenge. Like, I want to fight somebody. I don't know who it is yet, though. I haven't figured that part out. So, whatever. Tony Schiavone had a sit down with Jamie Hayter, and the sit down was about Jamie Hayter not having a sit down. That's what it was about. Because she had literally nothing to say and nothing to add, and nobody cares. And she said, basically, the long and the short of it is that she will be wrestling the winner of the Regina D Wave Championship match, which will either be Hikaru Shida or the Bunny. I mean, top level contenders we got here for the AEW Women's title. It's either going to be Hikaru Shida or the Bunny for a Regina D Wave Championship. I'm not even going to bother Googling because who gives a fuck? Really. Hikaru Shida is a champion, so I'm guessing she's going to win. I don't even know what company that is, nor do I care. Moving on, the 4th match on the show, Jade Cargill and the Baddies defeated Kira Hogan, Sky Blue, and Madison Rayne. For a coach, Madison Rayne does all the jobs. Interesting note, this match sucked, by the way. Tons of blown spots, one of which was Sky Blue was supposed to counter Red Velvet's scissor kick Instead, she didn't. And Red Velvet did the scissor kick. Sky Blue did not sell it, but then countered it. It looked awful. It did not look good. They did a decent job with Kiera Hogan actually getting some offense in on Jade. And then Kiera Hogan wasn't the one who got beat. I don't see why we couldn't let Kiera Hogan talk about being kicked out of the baddies, and do some character introspection. And maybe she learned something after getting kicked out of the baddies. That might have made sense before we went straight into the match. Again, let things breathe. Let's build to these matches. We know now, at least we know why this match happened. At least we know why it occurred. But for Christ's sake, one backstage promo where Kiera Hogan got to talk about getting kicked out of the baddies. It wouldn't have killed anybody, would it? I don't think it would have killed anybody. So come on, man. Get it together. We got another sit down. They really used Tony Schiavone up today, boy. I mean, I don't know. He must he must have not been sitting around a little too much. He had another backstage promo, this time with Saraya. Once again, Saraya didn't get any words out of her mouth before Britt Baker appeared and said that Britt Baker said that, oh, you said I always get handed things. Well, here's another thing that was handed to me, and it was some tickets. And I was like, okay, what's she gonna do with these tickets? So she gives the tickets to Saraya and says, you can either use these tickets to watch AEW Dynamite, or you could pick a tag team partner and fight me and Jamie Hayter. And then Saraya said she was gonna fight, but she took the tickets anyway. So, man, look, whatever. Okay, like, just whatever. Nothing matters. The main event of the evening, the Acclaimed versus FTR for the AEW Tag Team Championships, in a match that I said is good enough. It was very sloppy. It was a lot of choreographed offense, and you can actually start seeing a lot of the holes in FTR now. They're starting basically just do spots. That's pretty much it. And the Acclaim, their rap was not good. It was awful, to be quite honest. There was two lines that stood out particularly. One was about the top guys about to be bottoms, which I don't know why everything with the Acclaim had to be gay, just because at least one of them is gay. So now everything with them has to be like gay or gay coded. I don't get it. I don't understand it, but it's a new era of wrestling fan, and they like this kind of stuff. The other thing says that FTR stands for Find the Remote, which I laughed at. I'm not gonna lie. It turned to shit after that. It was like some Herschel Walker jokes, and something else happened. Who cares? It wasn't very good. But the match itself was solid. There was some botches, guys, blue spots, fell and all that kind of stuff. But ultimately, the match was good enough. It was a good showing for the Acclaim. They won the match clean. I believe, if I remember correctly, I could be wrong, they did the Bulldog Bret Hart SummerSlam 92 finish. So they used another WWF finish, if I remember correctly. With Max Caster, I believe, pinning Cash Wheeler. So FTR lose. Billy helped them to their feet. Everybody shook hands. They got a massive ovation for the match because it was very well earned. It was a pretty good match. FTR scissored with Billy and the Acclaimed. And shortly before the show went off the air, the Gun Club popped up on the screen. Said that, oh, you guys thought we were going to interfere? Nope, because FTR is trash. And then say they got them some Christmas presents. They got FTR Christmas presents. So what did they get? They got two things from. One was a message from them boys, which was a challenge for ROH Final Battle. And the second was a pair of dog collars to let us know that FTR versus the Briscoes is going to be a dog collar match at Final Battle. And I said, okay, he's really trying to make this $40 worth it, but not enough. Certainly not enough. Because this is the only marquee match on the show as far as I'm concerned. I could give a fuck less about Jericho and Claudio. Juice Robinson, pitch him out the fucking window. Look, we're going to go through the card in a minute because I'm going to do predictions. I'm going to try to do predictions if I don't throw up first. But the Gun Club being the people who have to deliver the message because we can't have the Briscoes on TV is absolute humor. That's pure humor. What made it even funnier is how the Briscoes started acting up on Twitter because the Usos were named #1 tag team for PWI. We're going to save that one for Thursday because I can't believe anybody caught feelings off that. It was so stupid. Who the fuck cares, really? Who cares, bruh? It's utterly pathetic, to be quite honest. But we'll save all of that for the Thursday night stream. Let's talk about this Ring of Honor Final Battle show. Let's talk about this because this was supposed to be a go-home show for that show. But they really didn't do too much build. Not a lot of build at all for the show. Tony Khan has been saying he's tried to limit the Ring of Honor influence on the show to Chris Jericho and the world title as people complained about too much ROH on the show, which is probably why he gave the TV title to Samoa Joe and the TNT belt so that both belts could be visible, but only one guy needs to show up. Because wait a minute, are they even using the Ring of Honor 6-man titles? I don't think they're even using those. I don't think they've been using them. But the Pure title has disappeared from the show too, so I'm not mad about that one. The Pure title disappearing because it's on a bum. Which bum is it? Is it Garcia? No, it's on Yuta, right? I don't care which one it is. Who gives a fuck, really? They're both bums. They're both, mannequins. As I search for the match listing, I'm pretty sure I'll figure out which one of them it is anyway, so we'll get there. But Tony Khan is saying that he wanted to limit the Ring of Honor influence on the show. I think that's smart on his behalf. We gotta, even though we know that there really is no functionally there's no difference between the two guys. There's no difference between what's going on in Ring of Honor and what's going on in AEW. We know that there's no difference really. But people just want to be able to keep up with their guys. That's all. I keep losing my guys because you're going to keep going and drifting off into ROH land. Nobody, who cares? Like when WWE did WWECW, I think they had the world title and they had the tag team belts. That was it. They didn't bring the TV title back into play. I don't know why they didn't do that. They probably could have used it, but whatever. Let's go. I finally found it. The match listing for AEW Ring of Honor Final Battle, December the 10th at 4:00 in the afternoon. 4:00 in the afternoon. I will be at work, so we probably won't be able to do a review of this show until Monday. So, because that night is NXT Deadline, and I have to watch NXT Deadline. I'm not going to miss that. And then the next day, I have to go to work again. And then that night, I have to do the Sunday pop culture stream. So I'll be with you guys. I'm not watching fucking Ring of Honor. So I'm probably going to have to watch Ring of Honor probably either after the stream or Monday morning when I'm off. So don't expect a review unless I watch this at work and I have like a lot of downtime. I would need a lot of downtime in order to watch this at work. So we'll see. But it's not important anyway from looking at the card. So the card is 7 matches for this Ring of Honor show. Match 1. FTR versus the Briscoes. Double dog collar match for the Ring of Honor World Tag Team Championships. Well, considering them boys are completely and totally banned from television, I believe that FTR will probably win. It's going to be a bloody fight. These two teams don't miss in terms of having really good matches. But you can't build to these fucking matches because you can't do anything due to the fact that Ring of Honor has no TV and the Briscoes cannot appear on TV. I don't know why Tony Khan insists on having these fucking matches when you can't build to them. They can't talk to each other. It's like just random challenges in the dark. Like, we want to fight you guys. Like, who the fuck are these dudes? Like you, again, one of these things you have to be clued in order to know who these guys are. But FTR is going to win. I fully believe that these are two of the three best tag teams in the business. If only the Usos had dancing partners like FTR or the Briscoes, then they could be definitely considered one of the best. But I guess they had Rated RK Bro. Well, Rated RK, just RK Bro, which was a shitty tag team because it's just two singles guys. But at the same time, it was at the very least two dudes who were super over, who were having really good matches. Since RK Bro went down, the Usos has kind of they've been having good matches with whoever they wrestle, but they haven't had rivals. And you need that. You need rivals, so I'm going to go with FTR, but the match is going to be bloody. It's going to be fun. All right. So second match, Dalton Castle and the Boys versus the Embassy, which is Brian Cage and Gates of Agony, which is Bishop Khan and Toa Leona. If I remember seeing Toa Leona, he's huge. I know Bishop Khan is also huge. And the Boys are the Tate twins from OVW. Okay. So 3 huge monsters versus super effeminate Dalton Castle and his 2 miniature boys. Okay. This is the ROH 6-man tag team titles. Okay, so I thought they weren't using these belts. Apparently they are. So I don't know who the champions are. I'm guessing it's Dalton Castle. Am I correct in this? Because I'm pretty sure Brian Cage ain't never won anything. This is a toss-up. This is a match I couldn't care less about. Again, this show is $40. I'm going to say it's probably going to be Brian Cage and his crew. Because why not? I mean, there's no real storyline behind this except Brian Cage eliminated Dalton Castle out of a match. So now they're going to get a 6-man match. I mean, who cares, really? Match 3, Swerve in Our Glory versus Shane Taylor Promotions. Shane Taylor and JD Griffey. Woof. All right. So let's, Shane Taylor, the guy who's built like a child's filthy diaper. I mean, Shane Taylor can talk. I'll give him credit for that. He's got presence. He's a big, big, big guy. I like that. I guess Tony Khan is being very obtuse about whether people are signed or not. So he's like, I can't talk about his contract. Like, why not? God damn, we're not talking about somebody major. We're talking about fucking Shane Taylor. Is he signed to Ring of Honor or not? I don't understand. But I'm surprised Impact didn't sign him. Maybe they couldn't because of this whole Ring of Honor AEW thing. But he would have been a great addition to Impact. Shane Taylor is not a bad wrestler. He's just in bad shape. But I typically like him. I know he has history with Keith Lee. They used to be a tag team a long time ago on the Indies. I heard that's what this match is about. It's about Shane Taylor feeling like Keith Lee left him in the dirt or whatever. But who the fuck is JD Griffey? Who the fuck is that? Okay, who is this guy? When I was watching Ring of Honor, Shane Taylor Promotions was Khan and I forget who the other guy's name was. It was another black dude. I'm pretty sure it wasn't JD Griffey. I have no idea who this guy is. I've never heard of him before. He doesn't even have a Wikipedia. I'm looking at Wikipedia right now. Everybody is yellow except fucking JD Griffey. The guy's white. Well, I don't know. He's probably black, but I can't click on him to see what he looks like. So I don't even know who he is. Wikipedia doesn't know who he is. The AEW fan who put this shit on Wikipedia don't know who he is. This guy's fucking anonymous to everybody. I'm pretty sure his mama has to walk around with like a picture of him or something like that to remember he was even born. So clearly they're not going to fucking win because nobody knows who the fuck this JD Griffey guy is. This match is stupid. Moving on. Samoa Joe versus Juice Robinson for the Ring of Honor Television Championship. Yeah, Samoa Joe's going to lose to Juice Robinson. That's what's going to happen. He's going to lose the television title to Juice, low-hanging fucking scum of the Bullet Club, Juice Robinson. You know how lame you have to be a late addition to the Bullet Club? He's been in New Japan all this time. He didn't join Bullet Club until 2022. You've been in New Japan since you left NXT in like 2018 or whatever. Or was it maybe even 2017? And you're just now joining the Bullet Club? Get the fuck. Come on, man. Nobody believes Juice Robinson's going to win. That guy fucking sucks. That was match 4. Who cares, really? Match 5. Mercedes Martinez versus Athena for the ROH Women's World Title. I haven't seen Mercedes Martinez in months. I haven't even heard her name in months. I'm glad she's not dead. She's been on the side of a milk carton for a long time. Athena, didn't she recently become more aggressive? And then said that if she was a man, nobody will be talking about how aggressive and hard hitting her matches are. And then of course everybody's like, oh, she's cooking. She got a point. I'm like, what did happen to Perry Saturn? Oh, if you're a man and you're hard hitting, I'm like, yeah, really. Perry Saturn was looking like, wait a minute. I was hard hitting and motherfuckers, they made me talk to a mop for the next 4 fucking months. So Athena just a complainer. She's a bully-acre. She's a whiner. But I would make her the women's champion. Mercedes Martinez, you have no interest in her. You're not going to do anything with her. She's not showing up on the show. At least Athena's showing up on Dark. At the very least, she's visible on Dark. So I would put the belt on Athena. Why not? I mean, it's not like anything's going to actually happen out of this. There's no storyline reason for this match to occur. Are they even feuding? Is there any feud between Mercedes Martinez and Athena? Is there any heat whatsoever? Is there even a thread of I don't like you? Did she send Mercedes Martinez a mean text message? What the fuck are they fighting for? Or they're fighting for the women's title. Oh, I didn't know Athena could fight for the Ring of Honor title. I didn't even know she could. But apparently she can. So I would give it to her. Fuck it. Who cares? Throw the shit out the window. As a matter of fact, speaking of which, Tony Khan says that he's been trying to utilize Maria Kanellis and her women's wrestling army or whatever the fuck to help him book the women's division for Ring of Honor. I guess that's a solid idea because Maria was doing that work in Ring of Honor when he bought the company. So that's fine. I don't have a problem with that. I just never hear anybody talk about Maria's wrestling army, women's wrestling army. So it would be nice if people actually talked about these women's, the Shine and, all these women's promotions that exist. It would be nice if people talked about them, but they don't. Nobody actually cares about women's wrestling that much because these companies fucking exist, but nobody talks about them. Nobody promotes them. I think I've seen the women's wrestling army. The only place I've ever seen anybody talk about it was on Pro Wrestling TV. When I go to watch fucking MLW, I see there's a tab for women's wrestling army, which I gleefully swipe left on because who the fuck cares about that? Moving on to something else I don't care about. Daniel Garcia, who is the bum holding the Pure Championship versus Wheeler Utah. Pure Rules wrestling match, ROH Pure Championship. It seems like these guys have had 100 matches against each other. I can't tell any of them apart. I don't really care who wins. I just hope that I survive it and don't fall asleep. This is why I can't watch this match at I can't watch this show at 10 o'clock. I could gleefully do the Sunday stream and then at 11 o'clock saying I gotta go to work next day, pop in a pay-per-view and watch that for the rest of the night. I could do that. But then you put shit on this show like Daniel Garcia versus Wheeler Yuta, Swerve in Our Glory versus Shane Taylor Promotions, Dalton Castle and the boys versus the Embassy. I'm like, man, I'm gonna go to sleep on this shit. I gotta watch this shit early in the morning. All right, I'm definitely gonna have to watch. I'm glad they're putting this show on at 4 o'clock in the afternoon. This shit is like fucking Ambien for everybody. If you man, you know how into wrestling you have to be to watch this fucking show at night and stay awake and care. I don't know. It's this is not good. This shit's gonna put you to sleep. Shit gonna put everybody to sleep, son. You gonna get $40 good nap. Gonna give you a good midday nap. Don't eat nothing too heavy and watch this fucking show. Yeah, it's gonna be knocked out. It's gonna be like Thanksgiving all over again. You're gonna gain weight. The main event, assuming this is the main event, it might be the Briscoes versus the FTR. They probably should rightfully close the show. But Chris Jericho versus Claudio Castagnoli for the Ring of Honor World Championship. If Castagnoli loses, he will have to join the Jericho Appreciation Society. So, Claudio, Jericho, clearly Claudio's going to win, right? They are about to cash in this ticket that the only reason Jericho is even Ring of Honor World Champion in the first place was to get the belt some heat, to get the belt over so Claudio could win it back. Only reason he was the champion, the Ocho, all that stuff, right? The question then becomes the same question with Ricky Starks. You put the belt back on Claudio. Then what? Now he's got to carry the Ring of Honor title around to do what? With who? For the record. Who he's going to wrestle? You've done nothing but shit on all the other Ring of Honor World Champions. Now, you got an opportunity where I guess, Jay Lethal could be a contender. I guess Adam Cole, if he's ever going to come back. Well, they probably keep him for AEW. They probably won't even move him to Ring of Honor. What else do you do? If you think about this thing going forward, they're probably going to want to have another pay-per-view in like March or April, right? That's another 3 or 4 months. Claudio by himself with no FTR and Briscoes, which probably won't be the case unless they're going to have a best of 17 match, between these two teams. Who are they going to put on the undercard to boost Claudio, who can't talk and has very little charisma? He's going to have to work with somebody who has charisma and personality in the main event of the next pay-per-view, and he's going to need a solid undercard. So, assuming Samoa Joe is there, maybe you have Claudio versus Joe. That might work. But I can't tell you what you do after this. Surely you have to put the belt back on Claudio. But unless TK got something under his sleeve, I don't know what you do. Because if you walk in here, what is it going to be like Death by Dishonor or whatever the fuck it's going to be called in like March, April, and you tell me that the main event of that show is going to be Claudio Castagnoli versus Mike Bennett or Matt Taven, I'm going to find Tony Khan personally and give him a fucking swirly. Because he's just desecrating Ring of Honor. And I'm not even a super Ring of Honor guy. But if you just tell me that that's the match we're going to have for a pay-per-view main event, you need a kick in the ass, sir. So, clearly Claudio's going to win. But it ought to be funny. It ought to be very interesting in what they do afterwards. What kind of humor they're going to bring with us afterwards. So, all right. The Ring of Honor stuff on this show sucks. The Ring of Honor card sucks. But I did like enough of Dynamite to put over the show and say it was probably one of my favorite Dynamites in a long time. Most of that is MJF and Ricky Starks and Samoa Joe being awesome. So, what do you guys think? Like, share, subscribe. I'll talk to you guys later. Thank God we got a break from the fucking Elite, but they'll be back next week. So, yay, gymnastics. Peace out.